So, Nicki Minaj is going at Remy Ma again with a new verse. But only one line is getting any kind of real buzz. First thing I'd like to say is thank you for viewing this video. And if you don't mind, hit that like and subscribe. I'm pretty sure that I have more things that you'll be interested in, and it doesn't hurt to like the video, and it does help the channel out. It helps us grow. Now let's move on to our scheduled program. What's up? This is the BBN Jack Crow speaking. So Nicki Minaj has decided to keep her beef with Remy Ma and Papoose, obviously, going on, and so she has a new song out with 2 Chainz, and in the song, um, I'm gonna explain the difference between what's going on with her new song and with Shether in a minute, but. In her new song, she has a line where she says something like, Papoose wrote an ether record and I broke a Aretha record. Okay, now, first of all, only reason why I think that she's feeling confident enough to try to go at Nicki again is because she got Nas in her corner, period. You see, for those that don't know, um, when Sheetha first came out, coincidentally, accidentally, nobody knows how it happened, but Nas is part owner of a streaming service. And that particular streaming service. Okay, this is how it works. Let me digress a little. This is how it works. A lot of these artists, what happens is when you're a real big artist and they want to make it so that your music is gonna be released on this particular streaming service either exclusively or first, what they do is they give you some stock in the company. That's what they do. That's what Tidal did with a lot of artists. That's what something what like Tidal offered Drake, but Drake stayed with Sony or whoever the hell Drake is with. Drake stayed over there, but that's like the type of contract Tidal offered Drake and a couple of other really big name artists because they want to get the exclusives. They want to get it on their streaming service months before or weeks before other streaming service get it so they can sell it on their streaming service, or they want to get it exclusively where it's only going to be on their streaming service. So Nas has stake or some kind of stake in one of the streaming services. So what happened was when Shether came out, Shether was pulled from the streaming service, so people could not buy the album, thus hurting its record sales. A lot of people believe that Nicki Minaj was behind this, but Nas said, yo, I don't know what anybody's talking about. I don't even know why this was done, yada, 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 this and this and that. So what ends up happening is a couple of months later, or however long it been since they dropped Shether and Nicki and Minaj and Nas got together, then Nas got together. So you kind of got to look at that a little bit different now. Like when it first happened, you could say probably Nas knew nothing about it. But now Nas is actually, slipping the D to Nicki Minaj. So there's a good, supposedly, quote unquote. So there's a good chance that, he actually did have the song pulled. But that's not the big thing. Okay, so she has the Papoose wrote an ether record, and I broke Aretha's record. Now, first of all, this is the thing that I don't like about Nicki Minaj. All right. One, I really don't think that she's that great of an artist. She's not really that hot. She's not really that fire. Her raps is nursery rhymes. Okay, I mean, just keep it a buck with you. Her raps are nursery rhymes. There's no real. They're nursery rhymes. Like, I can understand how she has a fan base. I can understand how she has a huge fan base. But a pop artist calling themselves the queen of hip hop or whatever the hell she's calling herself is backwards and retarded. She's a pop artist. She is the queen of pop as far as rap is concerned. Let's not get that confused. But of hip hop or queen of rap in general, no, she's not. She's not even up nowhere. She's not, period. So, okay, so the difference between her rap and Shether is when Shether dropped, you had people talking about 5 or 6 different lines, 7, 8, 9, 10 different lines. People was going One line after the other line after the other line after the other line because everything was fire. Freaking whatever the hell this is supposed to be. People could only recite one damn line. That was dope. One line. Papoose wrote an Ether record. I broke Aretha's record. And that's kind of disrespectful to Aretha. But, you know, it's hip-hop. So you say disrespectful stuff. But to Aretha Franklin? That's like a rap artist, a male rap artist, disrespecting Michael Jackson. Disrespecting Luther Vandross. Something. But I'm better than Michael Jackson. Like some shit like that. Like, you like, really? Like, not even slick. See, that's the misconception that that people have that aren't actually MCs. Like, there's codes to this shit. And it's like when you hanging out with the dude that's constantly saying disrespectful shit to people. But if it's funny, if they're saying some disrespectful, really, really funny stuff, you get a pass. It's funny. It's like, oh man, this dude's an idiot. Like, but it's funny. But if you just disrespecting somebody and there's no humor in it, it's not funny. It's bland. It's boring. People are just gonna be like, oh, this dude's an a-hole. They not gonna like you. To me, that's what the second part of that bar was. Second part of that line was. It was just disrespectful. She shouldn't even be mentioning Aretha Franklin. She shouldn't be mentioning Gladys Knight. She shouldn't be mentioning Whitney Houston. You understand? She shouldn't be mentioning them. I don't care what supposed records you broke. I 100% guarantee you, if streaming services was around when them artists was making their music, when it was dropping and it was fresh and it was brand new, you wouldn't come anywhere close to their numbers. It wouldn't even be close. It wouldn't even be. Their numbers would be so astronomically out of the ability for you to reach. You would have to set new goals. If you bought 1 million of your own freaking units, you still wouldn't be close. So, yeah, she only has one line people are repeating. But when each Shether dropped, there was a ton. Now, hold on. Let me get to one more thing. When Shether first dropped, Remy Ma was on stage and she was performing and people were like, yo, she didn't even know her own lyrics. Now, I'm going to tell you right now from the person that performed before. All right, I performed in front of audiences before. And there was a couple of times that I was extremely inebriated, you know, from partying. Or, see, what happens is this. You get to the venue, right? And sometimes you expect to go on earlier than you actually go on. So you get yourself right. You know what I'm saying? And then now you got to wait for whatever the case is. One got sets running long. Maybe there's something going on in the background. They got sound level problems. Maybe there's some kind of situation in the venue, and you gotta wait. Sometimes you gotta wait. Like, everything don't always go off clockwork. Some like it don't always go off clockwork, and that's if you're fortunate enough not to be the two best spots to be in my opinion. Is if you don't really have any fan base there, you could be the first guy that goes on. That's cool, because then nobody has, nobody went before you that's better than you. Nobody here know you. You make it. You dropping music that's contrary to what other people are dropping. Maybe you have a different sound, so you could go on first. That's a good spot. But you want to be the headliner. So now let's say you somewhere in the middle. You're not last. You're not first. Sometimes you're supposed to go on. Let's say you're supposed to hit the stage at 10. Sometimes it runs past. Sometimes you hit the stage late. Now let's say that you're the headliner. You're the last person to go on. And maybe let's say you're supposed to go on at, let's say 12 or 11, let's say 11:30. Your set is supposed to start. Your set's going to start at 11:30. It's going to last to, however long, whatever. So it's supposed to start at 11:30. But let's say due to whatever the hell, your set don't start to 1. Your set don't start to 12:31. Now you've been libated. And you you've already went past your threshold of being able to perform, but you still got to get on the stage and perform. Now I was looking at the video clip of that, and that's kind of like what it looked like to me. She was past her threshold to be able to perform. That's it. Now, with that also being said, for y'all that don't understand how it works when you go to a studio and you drop verses in the studio, let's say somebody else wrote the damn rap. When you go in the studio and you drop, you got to say the damn thing over so many times, you learn it. You don't go in there, say it one time and everything's straight. You got to say, okay, first of all, they might be doubling it. A lot of times, especially when I was going into the studio, they double it. You know what I'm saying? You do it, and then you do it again, and they throw the track on top of it, bang, and they double it. You know what I'm saying? They make the words stand out better. That's one. Two, if she didn't know it and she didn't write it, you know how many times she would have had to do it in the studio? She would have learned it. So this whole Papoose must have wrote it because she went on stage and she couldn't remember the lines. You know how? Come on. Like, that's what I'm trying to explain. Like, she would have known it, period. It was probably something else going on. Definitely something else going on. Maybe she just had too much to smoke. Maybe she had too much to drink. Maybe she was involving herself in something. Let me not even say smoke, because she's on something that she ain't supposed to be. She got problems with the court. She ain't even supposed to be smoking. That's why I said libated. Maybe she had some drinks, and she just wasn't able to hold her constitution. On top of that, she's like leaning on shit. Like, she can't even, like, stand up straight. Like, it looked more to me, like, visually watching her and being somebody that has performed before in front of a audience and inside of venues, it looked more to me, anything else, that she was just drunk. That's it. She was drunk. That's all it looked like. So stop with this. She didn't write it. I don't know if she wrote it. Maybe she did write it. Maybe Papoose wrote it. It don't matter. First of all, Nicki don't write nothing. So it don't matter. Stop being jealous, Nicki. You hopping from one writer to another in order to try to get your buzz back up, because you know that once you left, see, this is another thing. Okay. Maybe Safari wasn't the best rap artist. Okay. But neither was Jermaine Dupri. But Jermaine Dupri could write some songs for Crisscross that keep people jumping, right? Pun intended. Jermaine Dupri could write some songs for Little Bow Wow, right? He couldn't write no songs for himself, though. His shit stunk. Why? Because he can write for a specific audience. So now, when she left Safari, and then she went... a Safari who obviously could write for the audience that was her audience, the female demographic and the LBGYT, I don't know how to say that shit, the gay community. No disrespect to y'all, you know, I don't care what y'all doing. So when she wrote for when Safari was writing for her, you know, and he writes a certain way, and then she tries to get with Meek Mill, and Meek Mill is aggressive as shit. Make me, and his shit, that nigga crazy. Like, his shit is just, I can't even deal with Meek Mill's one, because it's just way too much yelling. So how is she supposed to translate that into her lyrics? I have no idea. But now she's with Nas, and I heard somebody else complain about her flow, and Nas is not necessarily the best flower in hip-hop. He's a lyricist. He's not one of those flow guys. Just to give a good example, who's somebody that had a really, really nice flow? I don't want to go too far back. I want to name somebody who wasn't necessarily Craig Mack. Craig Mack had a pretty decent flow, but his lyrics was like, you know, whatever, nigga. But Craig Mack had a pretty decent flow. But then you get somebody like somebody better, way better than Craig Mack. Method Man, retarded flow. You understand? But Method Man, it wasn't necessarily one of the best lyricists. Redman was a way better lyricist than Method Man. That's what made them such a great combination. Because you could listen to a Meth Red song, and don't matter who you are, you're gonna find something in that song where you're gonna really like. If you a person that's like lyricist, you're gonna be like, yo, this dude Red, he's nasty. If you're a person that like flow, you're gonna be able to deal with it because Meth is on there. Meth's flow is Without a shadow of a doubt, one of the best flows ever in the history of hip hop. Do not get it twisted. When he dropped that METHOD, man, that was it. Like that was it. Like, for everybody that wasn't around, or for everybody that was too young to understand, that song built Wu-Tang. That was the first song dropped off the album. It built Wu-Tang. I got that fat bag of skunk. I got white owl blunts, and I'm about to go get lifted. Yo, that shit was hard. Okay? That made Wu-Tang. Just so y'all can understand this. So, Meth Flow by itself made Wu-Tang. He wasn't the best lyricist. He was dope as hell. Don't get me wrong. He was not a shabby lyricist. He's not somebody that I'm going to say a million dudes is better than. He was a pretty good lyricist. He was decent. But his flow was impeccable. Okay? And then if you want to go with Redman, let's get ready to rumble. In this corner, you got the funk body snatcher, P-Funkadelic, and I got ya. Hard enough that I cut you a whole bag of rocks. Yo, Redman was hard. So then you mix those two, and you have a symbiotic representation of rap music that one is feeding off of the other and allowing for their fan base to grow. They need to drop another album, not for nothing. I think a lot of the dudes from the 90s need to drop another album, because these dudes now, and not drop album for the kids. Screw the kids. Drop the albums for the people in their 30s and in their 40s, because we got money. We will buy that shit. Anyway, so when I hear that she didn't know her lyrics, so therefore Papoose wrote them, you know how many MCs out here that y'all see every single day in concert, y'all watch every single day in videos everywhere? They don't write shit. It's a ton of them, okay? It's a ton of them. Don't write anything. Nothing. Nada. Zilch. Okay? I write a little something. So when I tell... you can hate the kid, but you can't stop the flow. It's not possible. You must be taking a lot of blow. But I gots to know, if you at least half your weight, the booth is the ER. I make a nigga have to wait. So head to the bathroom, bitch ass, and masturbate. I'ma whip out my lessons like you got a class to take. MCs are running like I'm known to castrate. Only the feds could touch me, nigga. Ask the state, and I have to state. I could drink milk past the date, and we don't play catch and kiss. We play past the date. Look, man, I flow. So when I tell you that I don't think she wasn't able to recite her lyrics due to the fact that somebody else wrote them, I think she just couldn't recite, whether somebody else wrote them or not. I think she just couldn't recite her lyrics because she was just hammered. That's it. She's leaning up on the partition thing. She could barely stand up straight. When she finally do walk out and she could stand up, she looks kind of uneasy. That's it. And no, this new Nicki Minaj song is not, one line is not better than Shether. Everybody stop it, okay? Whoever's talking that, okay, her fans, her fan base, I get you. That's what y'all on. I respect that too. You riding and dying with your queen, feel me? I respect that. So no disrespect to y'all. I respect that. But I'm just keeping it a buck with you. The best thing Nicki Minaj could do is just forget about Remy Ma for the time being. It's the best thing that she could do. Because right now, there's just no wins. Right now, Nas will have to write a song so dope for you and get on it. And go directly at Papoose and force that nigga to get on a song with Remy Ma. Now, doing that, all you're going to do is lift Remy's buzz. That's it. Win or lose. You're just going to make Remy more famous. So you need to stay in your lane. Forget about that whole Remy Ma situation because there's really no wins. Even if you win, you lose. It's no wins. Anyway, yo, leave some comments down below. I want to know what y'all think about this. Like, seriously. I want to know what y'all think about this because I think she should just leave Remy alone. It don't make no sense. She can't win. It's a no-win situation. Even if she wins, Remy wins. Remy wins either way. If she says something to Remy, it brings Remy money. If she don't say anything, she's scared. There's no way she could win. She might as well not line Remy Ma's pockets. That's my opinion. Anyway, Like, comment, subscribe. Leave your comments down below. I really want to know what everybody think about this, seriously. And that's all I got for you. I'm out. If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you would like to help dictate the direction that this channel takes, please leave a comment. All comments are appreciated, whether positive or negative. Thank you very much and enjoy your day. And remember, positive thoughts cause for positive things to happen. Let's get it.